Kalapani dispute, a small territory, a big conflict. Imagine two neighboring countries locked in a bitter, centuries-old argument over a small patch of land high in the icy peaks of the Himalayas. This is a conflict driven not just by modern geopolitics, but by the shifting currents of a mountain river and a colonial map drafted more than 200 years ago. This is the Kalapani dispute, a fierce territorial tug-of-war between India and Nepal that continues to heavily strain South Asian diplomatic relations today. What is Kalapani? In the very heart of the majestic Himalayas, where snow-capped peaks touch the sky and deep valleys slice through ancient rock, lies Kalapani. Physically, it is a rugged, inhospitable valley spanning roughly 35 square kilometers. Yet, this seemingly insignificant patch of land is highly coveted. Its immense value lies in its geography. Kalapani is situated close to the strategic Lipulekh Pass, sitting directly at the crucial tree junction connecting India, Nepal, and the Tibet Autonomous Region of China. Today, both New Delhi and Kathmandu claim absolute, undivided ownership over this mountain region, transforming it into a high-stakes flashpoint of national pride, sovereignty, and international law. Why did the dispute happen? To understand how this deadlock happened, we must travel back to 1816. Following the Anglo-Nepal War, the defeated Kingdom of Nepal and the British East India Company signed the historic Treaty of Sugauli to establish their permanent borders. The treaty dictated that the Kali River would serve as Nepal's definitive western boundary with India. It sounded simple on paper. However, British cartographers left a critical, devastating flaw. The text failed to clearly identify the exact geographic source of the river. This historic ambiguity ultimately created two completely conflicting interpretations. Nepal asserts that the river originates further west, from a stream at Limpiadra. Kathmandu argues that because this stream flows all the way down, the entire territory east of it, including Kalapani and Lipulekh, rightfully belongs to Nepal. India strongly rejects this. New Delhi argues that the true Kali River begins much further east, from a collection of mountain springs near the Kalapani area itself, keeping the land within India's Uttarakhand state. Armed with contradicting colonial maps, tax records, and old documents, both nations remain locked in an endless war of cartography. Why is Kalapani important? But this conflict transcends mere lines on a map. The strategic stakes here are incredibly high. First, Kalapani offers an unparalleled military security advantage. Situated at a high altitude, it acts as a natural observation post looking directly over the Chinese border, allowing India to monitor any potential military movements. Second, the region holds massive economic and logistical weight. It controls the historic Lipulekh Pass, which serves as a vital, highly efficient trade and transportation route, cutting straight through the rugged terrain. Finally, the area is deeply rooted in cultural and spiritual significance. This exact route acts as the primary conduit for millions of Hindu pilgrims making the arduous spiritual journey to the sacred Mount Kailash and Lake Mansarovar. For either nation, giving up control means sacrificing a crucial piece of security, economy, and heritage, international law and settlement of disputes. Today, the Kalapani dispute stands as a complex puzzle of international law, treaty interpretation, and territorial sovereignty. Both states rely on the principle of pacta sunt servanda, meaning treaties must be kept, yet they cannot agree on what the Treaty of Sugauli actually meant. Furthermore, India points to its continuous administrative control since the 1950s, while Nepal points to historical maps to assert its legal title. While the United Nations Charter strongly urges member states to resolve territorial conflicts through peaceful mechanisms, progress has been slow. For decades, India and Nepal have strictly preferred the path of bilateral, diplomatic negotiation, alternative international legal routes, such as third-party mediation, binding arbitration, or taking the case to the International Court of Justice, remain entirely untouched, as both neighbours cautiously navigate their deeply intertwined histories. In conclusion, Kalapani dispute highlights how small isolated territories can escalate into critical international issues. It is a modern conflict that deeply intertwines history, geographical location, and national identity. As the sun sets over the rugged Himalayan peaks, The future of India-Nepal relations remains uncertain. Thank you for watching.